I spent more than 10 years working with CEOs and their leadership teams, and I've seen teams stacked with talented, high-performing, genuinely impressive people who still can't get out of their own way. Really great individuals, but a mediocre team, and increasingly frustrating results. And every time, the reason is the same. They confuse hiring A players with building a high-performance team. They're not the same thing. Getting the team right is the hardest thing a CEO has to do. Most CEOs I work with, they can get execution under control. That's relatively straightforward. They can get their cash system working reasonably well, especially with a good CFO. But building a truly cohesive leadership team, that's where most of them get stuck, and it's where most of the struggle and pain lives. Here's the difficult and hard truth. You can have a room full of A players and still have a dysfunctional leadership team. I've seen it with my own eyes many times before. Talented people protecting their own turf. Smart people who won't say what they're really thinking in a meeting. High performers who commit to decisions with a handshake. And then, when they left the room, quietly undermine the decision in the background. A players without cohesion are just expensive silos. So what is cohesion really? I use Patrick Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions model a lot in my work because it's practical and it's honest. At the base of everything is trust, not the I trust you to do your job kind of trust, but the harder kind, vulnerability-based trust. The willingness to say, I got that wrong, or I don't know, or I need help, without worrying that it will be held against you. Without that foundation, you don't get real conflict. And without healthy conflict, passionate, direct, unfiltered debate about ideas, you don't get real commitment. People nod along in meetings and then disengage. From there, accountability disappears and the results soon follow. The results start tanking. It's a chain. Break one link and the whole thing falls apart. At our annual coaches gathering in Halifax, Nova Scotia last year, we kept coming back to the same theme. The world is moving faster than ever, and the companies that are winning are the ones that can move fast together. Not just fast as individuals, though. Fast as a team, fast as a unit. Speed, as a competitive advantage, comes from cohesion. A team that trusts each other makes faster decisions. They don't relitigate things inside conversations. They don't need 3 rounds of meeting to get alignment. They commit. They hold each other accountable without it becoming personal. An A player operating in a dysfunctional team is like a high-performance engine in a car with no steering. Impressive on the surface, but really, really dangerous in practice. So what do I see CEOs getting wrong? Well, the most common mistake I see is CEOs treating the performance side and the people side as separate things. They run the leadership team assessment. They identify the A players. They make some tough calls on who stays and who goes. And then they think the work is done. But it's not. The work is just starting. Because a new team, even a team of great people, still needs to build its cohesion from scratch. It takes time. Bring in a new leader resets the dynamic. The team needs time, deliberate work, and a consistent cadence to develop the trust and the habits that make cohesion real. In my work, we embed cohesion building into the day-to-day rhythm from day one. The cohesive questions in every meeting, the personal histories exercise, the left and the right feedback tool that we introduce gradually as a team builds confidence. None of this is accidental, but it's very subtle. But it's not soft. It's as important to the business as your quarterly numbers. The question I ask every new client very early on in an engagement is your leadership team cohesive and aligned? It's a do not pass go question. If the answer is no, even if you have great people, even if your strategy is sound, we have to fix that first. Because if the leadership team isn't aligned, the rest of the business can't be either. As the saying goes, as goes the leader, so goes the team. You can't build a cohesive business from the bottom up. It has to come from the top. But there is good news. Cohesion is buildable. It does take time, it does take discipline, and it does take focus, but it is absolutely achievable, and the results when you get there are remarkable. Conversations get sharper, decisions get faster, People stop repeating themselves in every meeting because the team actually hears each other. They're listening to understand, not listening to respond. And the discussion shifts from what's good for my function to what's good for the business. When you see that shift, you'll know you're getting there. A players who trust each other, who debate hard, who commit fully, who hold each other to account without it becoming a power struggle. That is what a high-performance leadership team actually looks like. That's the team that will get you where you want to go faster and with more confidence than you thought possible. Now, if what I've talked about in this video resonates with you and you want to find out more about how to build a cohesive leadership team, get in touch. My contact details are in the comments, in the show notes, in the links below. I'm sure you'll find them. You can always contact me at my website, www.crystallizer.com. Thank you for watching.